Hello everyone, welcome to MLB The Show 26. If you are struggling to hit, you're along with a bunch of other people, but I'm going to help you all with some hitting tips that made me a much better player pretty quickly. So let's hop straight into it. First thing you're going to be using is zone. It is the hardest one to learn, but it is also the most rewarding whenever you get it right. All the other ones like directional, you might get good at them, but it's just completely RNG instead of you controlling the game. For the PCI sensitivity, I just recommend playing around with this one. I have this one notch under what it's been for years. It just gives me a little bit more control, but if you react slower and you need to get your PCI quicker, you might want to bump it up. If you react quick but you overshoot your PCI, you might want to turn it down. So that one's just completely trial and error, figure out what works best for you. Now, for the PCI, this one is also just completely preference, but there is a few things mentally that you can change to be better mentally at the game. For the PCI center, I just use diamonds. This one is the one that just literally doesn't matter at all. You do whatever you want, but I do recommend having one. For me, right now, I'm using PCI inner wedge. It just helps me know more precisely where to put my PCI. But if I am in a slump, I'll go to my PCI outer and turn this on to basic. That way I have a bigger visual PCI, even though I don't have a bigger contact zone, but it just helps with the mental. PCI color doesn't matter, completely up to you. And opacity, I do like having it decently lower because then you're able to kind of see through it. But some people do like being able to see it more solid. So once again, completely preference. And the last thing, I would just recommend doing swing input and always normal swing. Power swing, you're giving up way too much PCI to not get that much of an exit velocity boost. And contact swing, you're just never going to hit the ball out. It's just not worth it. For the next tip, I'm going to recommend you to go into custom practice. I would say go up against the Dodgers and then use whatever batter you're most comfortable with. I also want to note you could go up against pitchers like Paul Skeens, Tarek Skubal on the Tigers, just any pitcher that you will commonly see in the game. Now, whenever you get into the practice, you're going to want to go over to practice type and batting. I would recommend going up against Ohtani and just don't mess with pitch frequencies. That way you can learn to react to anything that comes at you. The next thing I would do is hit RB and then pitch location. If you're just trying to get better at seeing the ball, I would recommend not touching this at all. That way it can just go anywhere and you can just swing whenever you want. However, if you are trying to get better at in the zone reacting and hitting, you're going to just want to select everything in the zone. And you're going to hit the 3 lines or whatever button it is for your console. And then you're just going to come in here and you're going to hit. I just woke up, so ignore my swings for right now. But you're just going to come in here and you're just going to work on tracking the ball and swinging, getting that on there. And whenever you start feeling comfortable, that's when you know you're warmed up and all. This is also a great place to test your PCI sensitivity. If you feel like you're not reacting quick enough, turn it up. If you feel like you're reacting too quickly, turn it down and just mess with it until you get to that perfect sensitivity for you. It's different for everybody. One other tip I would give for this is if you are constantly batting on All-Star, I would recommend going up to Hall of Fame for your practice. If you can hit on the next tier, you're definitely going to hit on All-Star. If you're hitting on Hall of Fame, go up to Legend. You're definitely going to hit better on Legend. Now, one other thing I will bring up is specifically focusing on one pitch if you struggle on it. So let's say you struggle on the interior half of the plate hitting the ball, because that's where most people struggle. You have to swing much earlier than anything elsewhere. So you can unselect the other options and only select the 3 that are your interior for your batter. Go in and now every pitch will come on the interior of the plate and you can just learn how to react to it. Now we're going to talk about what stadium to play in. So this year, they still have not fixed altitude. So you're going to want to play in parks that are good for hitting the ball. 90% of the parks in this game are dead. You just can't hit the ball correctly. So I'll go over which parks I would recommend playing in, or also make a created stadium. As you saw in the custom practice, I've already made a created stadium. So then you can tweak it to your hitting style. Now, for the pre-made stadiums, the obvious one that most people use is Coors. While it may get boring to play there, it is the only park in this game that always is playing correctly. If you square up the ball correctly, it will fly at the high altitude. Every other park that you see here, I would not use. There's just no reason to get rid of your hitting capabilities. I would not use either the spring training facilities or the All-Star Stadium. I also would not use classic stadiums, but minor league stadiums, you are going to find a few that won't play terribly. In old years, Laughing Mountain has been playable. Last year, it wasn't as good, but it was still decent. So if you like the way Laughing Mountain plays, how the ball flies, that's not a bad stadium to play at. The next one I would recommend is possibly Ship It. In the past, before last year, it was one of the best stadiums in the game. It's still not bad. The ball just doesn't fly as great there, but the distances to the fences are nice. Last year, Oak Street was one of the best ones to play at. I haven't personally tested it out this year. I believe it will still be good this year. A lot of people play at Capitol Lane. You only play here if you legitimately just want to bat. This is Home Run Central Park. If you want to give up 10 runs a game but hopefully score 11, this is the place to go. And finally, Old Classic Shield Woods. I think it's playing pretty decent this year, but once again, that's kind of up to you to decide. It's always been known as one of the best parks in the game up until last year where it got crazily nerfed. I'd recommend trying it. If you don't like it, don't use it. Now, this isn't a hitting tip, but it is a tip that everyone just gets wrong, so I'm going to say it. Turn off auto defensive shift. There's no reason to have that in this game. It will just give up bloop hits over and over on terrible swings. Turn it off. Now, for hitting views for hitting, I would use Strike Zone or Strike Zone High. They are both the most zoomed in cameras that you are able to see the ball the best in. Any other camera angle, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Now, something new this year is hitting depth of field. This is my favorite new addition to this game. It makes every park playable to the extent where you can see the ball. I recommend just keeping it on everywhere. It does take a minute to get used to it and be able to actually see the ball, but once you get it, it is the biggest help you can possibly have in this game. Basically, what it does is it just blurs the background, and once you hit the ball, it unblurs immediately. So you're not losing the experience of playing in the ballpark. You're only being able to hit better as the pitch comes in. All right, so now that we went over that, I'm going to play a ranked game to kind of demonstrate what all those settings look like in-game. I'm going to use my stadium. It is a bit of a joke stadium, Tel Aviv. Now, if you like the way it looks and how it plays, feel free to download it. Just look up Tel Aviv, and it'll be there. All right, well, this is also the debut of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Just unlocked him a few days ago, so we'll see how that goes. Facing Bob Feller. Interesting. I have not faced this card yet this year. We'll see how it is. He actually was not bad in past year, so he might be good this year. Let's see where our opponent is bringing us to play at. Oh. Okay, so this is one of the parks you do not want to play at. This is a terrible hitting park, but we're going to power through it. Our settings should carry us to the win. Alright, for our first bat, we got Sedain. As you'll see through basically all my batting averages out of a few, I bat around 400 right now. That's not a good start. Don't pay attention to what I just did. Now, one tip I will also give real quick is do not start your PCI in the bottom half. You're just not going to be able to react to anything up. I start my PCI up here near the ball. That way I can track it as it's coming in. Another way you can do it is just sitting it in the middle and just purely reacting. The problem with that is if you go into slumps, you're just never, it's going to be extremely hard to break out of it because it's just purely mental and reaction time. With tracking the ball, it just comes down to how good you're playing. And Bryce Harper also is going to get me one. As you can see, I'm just able to move my PCI very slowly with my PCI sensitivity being one notch below, and it helps me be more accurate. But once again, this is fully preference, just whatever works well for you. So that is back-to-back-to-back home runs. That was not a good swing, but the game is rewarding me. Maybe this park plays better than I thought it did. This could be an option for you if you like it. I have played at this park in the past just because it looks cool, but it's just never flown correctly. But maybe this year it's different. Every year, every park is different. The only parks that never really change are the MLB parks. That's why I only recommend Coors if you want to play at an MLB park. Jordan, let's see if that ball carries. The wall is 360. 95 getting to the warning track is actually not bad. This could be a park that you could consider. Come on, Nettles. Get into the gap. Wow, that's just, the ball just hung up there. I don't know how I feel about this park. I feel like that was a good swing and it just didn't leave. Anyways, yeah. Decent first inning. You kind of understand what I'm talking about. So now we'll get past the tips and just play this game out. Yeesh. So you'll see I will absolutely never make a pitching tips video because I suck at it. The only tip I'll say is use pinpoint. Every other one sucks. Just use pinpoint. And just learn it. It's tough, but you'll figure it out. Popped him up. Come on, Rafa. Not Rafa. Sedane Rafaela. Had a baby. Wow, that's just not a good swing, but it works for him. One thing about this game right now is if he decides to steal right here, it's basically free because of the pop times of our catchers right now. They're terrible. So unless he were to get a terrible jump, it's basically free steals with anyone over 75 speed and I'd say 50 steal. Bear down, the new mechanic, it just shrinks your par so you can miss less on a perfect pitch release. Outside of that, it doesn't really do much. But it's useful in situations where you just want to really get tight to your location. There we go. Double play. All right, let's go hit. And just honestly, the best way to get better is just sitting down and playing ranked. There's no way to get better other than just playing the game. Don't get mad when your opponents are better than you. That's how you learn. You only get better by facing people who are better than you. That's just the truth of it. It sucks that you have to go through it, but truthfully, just reps is what makes you get better at the game. Also, another thing I'll say is have patience. Don't be thinking just because it's a strike that means you have to swing. That's how you get to swing at balls way outside of the zone, and you're just not finding your pitch. Find your pitch. In the 2 strikes, then that approach changes. Have an approach. Don't go into the at-bat just wanting to swing first pitch. Be picky. If the pitch is down the middle, okay, swing first pitch. But outside of that, just make the pitcher come to where you want. Also, another thing I will say is use control freaks and a precision ring. This helps you be much slower and much more precise and prevents slamming your PCI. It is the biggest game changer that you will just instantly get better at the game. It's just a fact. You will get better if you're using precision rings and control freaks. How does he already have 116 at bats with O'Neal Cruz? Yeah, this guy has not gone off the game. Another thing to mention is use a monitor if you have one. The response times on TVs are much slower, and this game is very much quick response hand-eye coordination. So on a TV, you're just not going to get that. If you are looking into buying a monitor specifically for this game, look for low response time 120 hertz monitors. That's how you are going to get the best gameplay you can for this. You want to be able to have your controller and what you are actually seeing synced to as fast as possible. On a TV, you're not getting that. Another thing I'll bring up, this one might sound stupid. Find something that works for you. As stupid as it sounds, I cannot play good sitting with both feet on the ground. It's actually stupid, but it's the truth. I have to sit on one of my feet to play good. It makes me feel more locked in. So if you have a superstition like that, that's fine. And it truthfully does change the way you play the game. So that's fine. Wow, that's just a terrible hit. This game is just giving flukes right now, man. I will say this game has been very friendly to bad hitters so far this year. Um, but don't be mistaken. If you turn into a good hitter, good hitters will be bad hitters. Nice, man. What an animation. Holy. Buddy just needed to pump fake twice before throwing that ball. Nice. All right, we got out of it. I'm betting insane with Cattell right now. 581. 581, and that's going to go up. Holy, I love Cattell Marte's swing. Also, I will say, sit fastball, adjust. The fastball is hard to catch up to, but if you're sitting for it, then you're going to be on time, more likely. And then just be ready to adjust to that off speed. You don't want to stay off speed because then you're just not going to be able to adjust to a fastball. You have the most time to adjust to off speed. You don't have as much time to adjust to a fastball. Another thing I will say is I don't use ambush. I don't see a purpose for it. I don't like the idea of getting rid of so much PCI. Now, if your opponent is only pounding the inside, there's nothing wrong with ambushing. But just be ready for if that ball is outside, your PCI is going to be much smaller. I just got under that, dang. I felt like I got a good PCI on that, but I just missed it. Ah, I got on top of it. And Jordan's so slow, there's no chance he beats that. Yeah. Nothing good happened for the next little bit, so I just cut out a few innings of footage. Just to save both of our times, I'll let us watch the final 2 innings. I hope y'all enjoyed and enjoy the rest of the video. If you pitch a Soto, I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it, this ball's going over the fence. Told you. Told you. You pitched Soto right there, that ball was going over the fence. Told you. He's pitching Soto, balls are gonna... What? 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 Oh. Okay. And I'm just terrible. I'm terrible with Will Smith righty-righty. Horrible. Just horrible. Oh, I dropped my PCI. We're gonna have a crazy 9th, man. I'm gonna pitch someone to try to keep this game close, but it's over. I did choke a little bit, although the game also refuses to give me anything, and I just know they've given him handouts this game. This guy's just not good, too. So unfortunate. I'd play another, but, yeah, it's approaching 3 in the morning, and I've been recording over an hour, so I pass. If you enjoy the video, though, like and subscribe. I'm gonna start posting a lot more frequent, and by a lot more, I mean maybe once a week, but that's a lot more than I have been. So if you enjoy it, just drop a like for me. It would mean a lot. Holy Schwerber, you're actually a liability. Schwerber, please. Alright. I have to go put up 4 or 5. Come on. Let's go. I know I can do it, and these are the 3 I want up to do it, but I love you, Cattell, man. Oh my God, Bryce. Come on, let's do it, boys. Bad swing. I gotta crush that ball. Alright, we're still in it, though. Come on. We have Jordan and Greg Nettles. We have 2 lefties. Jordan. Alright, come on. 1 more. I need you, Nettles. How do I keep missing on that sweeper? Oh my God, I'm so bad. I should have won on that pitch. And now I have a righty, don't I? GG's. We tried, man. That's also just not a bad swing there. We tried. I appreciate y'all for popping in. If these tips help you, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you guys want to see anything new. Subscribe, leave a like, comment down below. It would mean a ton to me. I'll respond to every single one. I appreciate you. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all next time. Thank you. Peace.